it feels like a chore. So not a great start, not a great first day. I am struggling to read. I am struggling to care about anything. The reading slump is winning. Slumptember. It took 10 videos on this channel and I've finally cracked. I am in the biggest slump of my life right now. That may be hyperbole, but right now it feels like the biggest slump of my life. I am struggling. I am struggling to read. I am struggling to care about anything. It is almost the end of September. Like many of you, I feel like this month flew by. I don't know what I was doing or where I was. All I know is I have not been reading. I have not been able to focus on anything. I have been spiraling with some Law & Order SVU binges and staring at all of the books that I am dying to get to, and I just cannot bring myself to pick anything up. Over this month so far, I have literally only read 4 books. That's not bad, but that's not me. That's not who I am. That's not typical. I am determined to force my way out of this slump. I am not gonna just sit here and let the slump win. I am going to try everything in my power to get over it. And the only way I can think of to do that is to literally force myself to read as many things as I can, as quickly as I can, over the next 2 days. I was so excited for fall, and I was so excited for reading during fall and fall vibes and Halloween vibes, and I think I got a little carried away. You know how when you have like a little kid who gets a puppy and they love that puppy so much that they end up just squeezing it to death because they're so excited and so in love and so happy? I think I did that with fall. I literally saw the first leaf hit the ground. I saw September hit the calendar, and I ran with it. My mind ran away. I romanticized the entire thing. I bought a ton of books, as you saw in my last video, like a ton. And I went cuckoo bananas, and I think I just got carried away because now I have a ton of books that I'm dying to get to, and I just don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get back into the mood of reading. And so I am literally going to force it. That's what we're going to do. And this could go horribly, horribly wrong. This may never see the light of day. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I have a big old stack of books here. I'm not going to lie. I don't think any of these, except for maybe 1 or 2, were actually on my TBR this month. But I am excited for all of these. They are all new releases, or at the very least new to me. I'm going to see what I can do. So I'm hoping that by allowing myself to mood read and pick up some of the new books that I've acquired, I will be able to find something that I can fall in love with again and, I don't know, get the spark back. Looking for the spark. I feel like reading and I right now, we're going through a rough patch, and I want to get that spark back before October. God, it would be so sad if this was how I was feeling in October. Like, my favorite month of the year. I have so many plans for October. I have so much to look forward to in October. First of all, if you didn't know, we have a Friday the 13th in October. Like, I mean, could it get any better? Could it? I don't think so. That's exciting. Halloween is coming. I have a ton of video plans that I would love to be able to do, but with the way I'm feeling right now, that's not going to happen. So I feel like September is like a dress rehearsal for October. This is like practicing, getting all the anxieties out of the way, and hopefully I'll be able to solve this little slumpy slump before we get to the peak fall month of October. I'm rambling, so I should just start, right? We're going to do as much as we can today, and then we are going to finish it off tomorrow. I have learned my lesson that staying up for 24 hours does not work for me, no matter how hard I try. So we are going to do half of it today, stop the timer, and do the other half tomorrow, and hopefully get this up by Sunday. Now, one quick piece of business I have before we begin and this is a purely selfish and vain thing I need to discuss with you, but that is the 2 broken nails that I am currently displaying. I broke this nail the day after I got a manicure, and then I went to get it fixed, and now it's broken again, along with my pinky. I am not someone who ever allows myself to be seen with broken nails. It feels like being naked. And yet this is how we are in this video. And you are going to see this because I talk a lot with my hands. I can't stop. I've tried, but my Italian ancestors just won't allow it. So it sucks because there's no way for you to avoid seeing this abomination. So I'm just going to need you to do me a favor and just look away. Just pretend you didn't see it. So now that that little piece of business is out of the way and I have drawn attention to my shame, I guess we should start reading. So I think I'm going to start with either Things We Left Behind or Small Town Big Magic or Assistant to the Villain. These are like the 3 I'm feeling. I'm feeling a romance. I'm feeling something light and easy. But one of these is going to happen first. So I will let you know when I know. And I'll give you my initial thoughts once I've read something. To quickly give you my thoughts on the first book I started, which is Small Town Big Magic. I'm loving this. I'm having so much fun with it. Excuse the lighting. I'm too lazy to get up and go turn on the light because I'm having such a good time reading this. And I can't believe I'm saying that because it has been so long since I've actually wanted to keep reading. Like I didn't want to stop to update you. So that's a good sign. I am 100 pages in, 115 pages in. This book is about a girl named Emerson. She is the Chamber of Commerce president, and she owns a bookstore, and she's obsessed with her town, and she wants to make it the best town that she possibly can. And she has this adorable friend group that she surrounds herself with. She's got this sort of found family within her friends. So she is just going about her business, planning this Rosebud Festival. She has a little rivalry going with the mayor of the town who she went to school with, and he's kind of a jerk, but she has accidentally gotten on his bad side several times, not meaning to be mean, but ending up embarrassing him and whatever. Anyway, she's going about her business and suddenly she gets attacked by these creatures in a cemetery and realizes that she is a witch whose memory was wiped, and all her friends are also witches and they've all been keeping this from her. So now she is trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It kind of gives me, it very much gives me Halloween Town vibes, but for adults, because there's witches and creatures and whatever, but it's giving me small town, kind of like Gilmore Girls, but make it witchy vibes. This small town, everyone's in each other's business. I feel like they definitely have town meetings. I totally am getting a Luke vibe from Jacob, who is, I believe, the love interest. He's one of her friends, and he's total grumpy, literally described as curmudgeonly. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. I'm going to keep going. It's almost 7 o'clock, so I'm definitely gonna get some caffeine going. I'm probably gonna order some food because I don't feel like stopping to cook. And hopefully I can finish this in the next few hours. I have a little less than 250 pages left. So let's get to it. Hello, everybody. It is midnight. I was minding my own business, doing my readathon, when all of a sudden I got a notification that Katie Colson was doing some reading sprints. And I thought, great, it'll help me focus, it'll motivate me. But instead, it turned into me just watching her and people talk for way too long. So I was reading, but very sporadically, and it took me far too long to finish this book. But I did. I finished Small Town Big Magic. I'm in love with this book. I'm going to sit on it for the night before I figure out my rating. Like, since I haven't been reading recently, and this is the first thing that I've been interested in such a long time, like, instinctually, I'm like, is it a 5-star? But I don't think it's a 5-star. In fact, I know it's not a 5-star, but like, what is it? Is it a 4-star? I don't know. So I want to sit on that for a bit. But it was such a fun time. It was such a low stakes, cute, witchy, good time. I loved the writing style. It will not work for everyone, but it was super casual. And it felt like just sort of stream of consciousness for Emerson, who is telling the story. Even though the story is so absurd and so unrealistic, her commentary on everything ended up being super realistic. Like, I feel like if anyone was in her position, in her situation, we would be thinking and feeling a lot of the same things that she was. So it was such a good time. It was so cute. I'm flip-flopping between 4 and 5 right now. So I'm going to figure that out and let you know in the morning. I also started at the end of the sprints. I started Mr. Magic. How far did I get? I am on page 86 of that. If you don't know what Mr. Magic is about, we have a character named Val who once upon a time was on a children's show called Mr. Magic, and something tragic happened that caused the show to end. She has no memory of this. No memory of being on the show, no memory of the ending of the show. She has been living on a ranch with her father, who is trying to like keep her under lock and key and protect her, it seems like. And so she doesn't have a TV. She doesn't really have any connection with the outside world. She's been living this way for years. And one day her father passes away, and at his funeral, a bunch of people show up and tell her that they're there to pick her up for the reunion of the television show she starred on as a child. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was never on a TV show. I think I would remember that. It's super weird so far. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm intrigued. I'm confused. Like, there's a part of me that's like, am I too dumb for this? Because, like, I'm not really sure I understand what's going on, and I don't think you're meant to understand. I think that's part of the mystery. At times, it almost feels like commentary on, like, religion, and it sort of feels cultish. And then at other times, it feels like a basic horror murder situation. There's definitely something weird going on for sure. And just knowing Kirsten White, knowing how Hyde went and ended, I'm sure it's going to be some ridiculously weird situation that is the cause of all of this. I'm intrigued. I'm curious, but I don't think I really understand it. And I think it's a little bit confusing. Or maybe I'm just stupid. I feel like the plot is just a little bit jumbled. Like, I feel like they're throwing so many things at us. Like, there's this weird house. It's in the middle of the desert. There's this town, which feels like Pleasantville. Let's connect it. Like, there's all these things happening and all these characters. And there's not really, I don't know. It doesn't feel cohesive. It sort of feels like throwing things against the wall and seeing what sticks. I don't know, but I'm not even 100 pages in. So I'm going to withhold my judgment for now. We have been reading for 5 hours and 45 minutes. Not a great start. Not a great first day. I didn't start reading until 3 o'clock, so I knew I wasn't going to get a full 12 hours in today, but I don't feel confident that I only got 5 hours done, because that means we have 19 hours to go, which is a lot for tomorrow. It is what it is. The choices have been made. So I am going to take her with me to bed. My hope is that I can finish it tonight before I fall asleep. I will probably update you on my final thoughts in the morning because I don't think I'll update again tonight. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. It is the perfect rainy fall day. It's like cloudy and there's like light rain sounds. It's the perfect reading day. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I need to update you on what is going on. Last night, I was able to finish... Well, where the heck is it now? I was able to finish Mr. Magic, and what do I have to say? Let's think about this. It was weird, y'all. Like, really, really weird. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I think I said this last night, but I feel like there was so many different things going on all at once that it was almost sort of jumbled and kind of hard to piece together, which I know is intentional in, a way, because it's a horror and mysterious and whatever, but at the same time, it just felt like kind of all over the place. That being said, I had a good time with it. I was intrigued the entire time. It was an easy read. It was a quick read. I will say, if I'm going to compare it to Hyde, I think I liked this better. I think it was more well-paced in general, but I just think the plot was so outrageous and out there, and it just kind of felt a little complicated. Can you see my grays? Anywho, that is done. I think that this is going to be, I'm going to say 3 stars, 3.5. I think it was well written. I think it was a cool concept. It's definitely not my favorite book, and it was kind of confusing. But again, maybe that's just me. Also, I have to give a full half a point just for this cover alone. So that is done. That is book 2. I said last night that I was going to tell you my final ratings and thoughts on this morning as well. I slept on it because I really was feeling like a strange desire to give it a 5-star, but then in the back of my mind, I was like, but it's not a 5-star. I think it's just the first thing I've liked in a while, and I got ahead of myself. But I am here to tell you that after a good night's sleep, I still can't stop thinking about it. I think this was just such a silly, fun, sweet, angsty, fantastical, cozy, witchy, good time. It was so good. And I have to give it 5 stars. I have to. The more I think about it, the found family, the town, the relationships, the plot, the writing, which was like super casual. And like I said, it's not going to be for everyone, but it was definitely, it worked for me and it worked for this story in particular. This is like the perfect witchy rom-com, in my opinion. This is like exactly what I'm looking for when I think of like fall, witchy, spooky, rom-com-y vibes. Like the small town feel, that like Gilmore Girl-esque feel, but make it witchy. It was perfect. I love this. So this is getting 5 stars. Mr. Magic is getting 3.5 stars. And we have moved on this morning. While I was eating breakfast, I started my 3rd book, which is Assistant to the Villain. I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. The feeling that it gives me right now, and I'm not very far in, I'm only like 30 pages in, but the feeling that it's giving me right now is a similar feeling to like the Once Upon a Broken Heart series or Caraval. Like it's that whimsy, sort of silly, whimsy, cozy feeling that is full of like angst and ridiculousness. I'm living for it. Evie is such a fun character. She is honest to a fault. I guess I should tell you what this is about. So basically, there is this girl named Evie. She is walking home from a job fair. Her father is sick and she has a little sister and she needs to get a job to take care of them. She lost her last job, so she goes to this job fair to try and find a new job, and it doesn't go well. So she's on her way home and she ends up in these woods that everyone tells the townspeople to stay out of because the villain lives there, who is said to be this like evil, monstrous, demonic person that likes to capture humans and kill them and bring them into the woods to kill them. Nobody really knows much about him other than that he's like mysterious and monstrous and villainous. So she ends up running into him in these woods. She doesn't realize it's him at first, but he is hiding from these like knights or soldiers that are like traipsing through the woods trying to find him. So he like grabs her and brings her with him to like hide her as well, because he's like, if you're caught out here, they're gonna kill you too. So he's almost like protecting her, and she's like, wait, you're the villain. And she expected this like really old man. Like she says something like, if you're a villainous like murderous person, you should be at least 50 if not 60, right? And like ugly and decrepit, and yet he's like not much older than her. He's like very handsome and charming, and he has like symmetrical cheekbones and whatever. He ends up bringing her to his mansion, to his manor, and offering her a job to be his assistant. It is just delightful. It is so much fun. So I think I'm gonna fly through this. I'm really excited. I am about 8 hours into this readathon, maybe even longer. So I still have a lot of reading to do today. I definitely did not start early enough yesterday, and I did not start early enough this morning. So if I were to literally not stop the clock from now until the end, I would still be reading till well into the night. So we may have to stretch this into a 3-day, 24-hour readathon. What else is new? Just stamp the word failure right across my forehead and call it a day. Anyway, it is the perfect rainy day. I'm loving the vibes. I have a little fireplace going, although I am going to put the Auburn game on shortly, and we're going to get cracking on Assistant to the Villain. I'll update you when I finish it, unless something else comes up that I like need to talk about, which is possible because I'm enjoying this immensely. Okay, bye. Bad lighting. What else is new? Things are not going well. I have good news and bad news. Hang on, let's turn a light on. I installed these new light switches. I'm very happy because I'm desperately trying to make this apartment not look like it hasn't been painted or taken care of in 12 years. Anyway, the good news is this book, 5 freaking stars. I am obsessed with this book. Was it a perfect book? No, but it was perfect for me. This was the most silly, angsty, fantastical little time I'm obsessed with the villain. I'm obsessed with Evie. I love this book so much. Is this a debut? Does anyone know? Because like A+ to Hannah. Seriously, like this was so much fun. I'm obsessed. Obsessed. That's the good news. The bad news is that I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. The slump is kicking my ass. I am done. I don't want to read. I don't want to look at a word. I don't know what to do. I really, truly do not know what to do. I am so frustrated. It is 6 o'clock and I didn't even pause the timer. I just stopped reading, finished that book, and I took a nap. I took a nap and I gave up and I seriously thought, I'm just not going to get up again. I'm done. YouTube's over. I quit. I'm canceling my channel. This is the end. That's where I am right now. That is exactly where my head is. So that sucks. But I rallied. I got up again. I made another coffee. We're pretending we're starting over. I still have 9 hours to go. And that's not even really truly accurate because I didn't pause the timer while I slept, which was like at least an hour. So I've already failed and the reading slump is winning and I am losing. And that is just the facts. We're going to try and rally. We're going to try and keep going. I don't want to read. I don't want to read. I don't want to film. I don't want to do anything. I just want everyone to leave me alone. Am I having a mental breakdown? Is this what it's like to literally break down in front of the entire world? Oops. Let's go see. Here's the problem. I don't know what I want to read next because the answer is nothing. I'm kind of interested in this, which is about serial killers in the 70s. I'm also interested in Mona's new book, which is about the beauty industry, and it's a horror. And if it's anything like Bunny, it should be a good time. I want to read this just because there's umbrellas on the cover and it's raining right now, which like none of those things are a good reason to pick up a book. Also, it's short. It's like less than 300 pages. So those are the three in between right now. But I don't know. I can't make any decisions. I'm hungry, I'm cranky, I'm tired, and I'm angry. I'm angry at the reading slump. I'm angry at myself, and I want it to go away. I want to do better. I like, there's no reason. I'm loving everything I'm reading, and I'm still not feeling like reading. What does that mean? What does that say about me? Is this the end of my reading journey? Am I just done? Am I no longer a reader? Is this just the end? I don't know, y'all. Probably gonna order some food too, because I'm hangry. Maybe that's why. I don't want to read, because I'm hangry. I wish you guys could tell me what to read next. Like, I wish you were in my apartment, although that would be really weird, but I wish you were in my apartment here right now to tell me what to do. Maybe I should call someone. Should I phone a friend? Should I call my mommy and ask her what to do? I'm not even kidding. Like, I may do that. Or maybe I'll just do like a number generator. Maybe I'll spin a wheel. I don't know. I'm not. It took 10 videos on this channel and I've finally cracked. Goodbye forever. Hello. We are 15 and a half hours in. We still have a long way to go. What is that, 8.5 hours left? So yeah, I'm going to be reading all night. I have no one to blame but myself. I don't know how I made a decision, but I just did, and I ended up going with Rouge. I just picked it up and started reading it. It was pretty easy to get invested in. I'm not bored by any means. The writing is excellent. I am typically not one for like major descriptions, but in this instance, the descriptions of the surroundings and the people and their outfits and their clothes and their faces and their skincare, it's so visceral, it's so real. It very much reminds me of something that like Ryan Murphy would come up with, like a season of American Horror Story. There's such a focus on like red and white and black and stark contrasts and, you know, red lips and white faces. And I don't know, the descriptions are just like so good and real that it feels like I'm like seeing it. I have no idea what's going on. It is about a woman who just lost her mother, somehow ends up sort of falling down this rabbit hole of like youth and beauty and regeneration. And I'm not really sure. I have no idea. I just made it to part 2, so I'm like 100 pages in. Like, it's confusing, but not in the way that like Mr. Magic was, where it was like all over the place. Like, this is very easily digestible, but I have no idea what's happening. I don't know. It's really, really weird. It's really weird. It feels almost like a fairy tale, but like modern day fairy tale. I don't know. It's weird. It really does feel like an American Horror Story season. Like, I feel like Ryan Murphy could totally make this look so good. Like a mix between like Coven and like maybe Hotel. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. So I am hoping I can obviously finish this and then maybe do one more. I'm chugging all the caffeine I possibly can, and I'm just gonna push through this nightmare. Because it's like, okay, I'm liking everything I'm reading. So it's not that I'm not enjoying myself. It's literally that like it feels like a chore. Like, even though I'm enjoying myself, the reading itself is feeling like something I have to do instead of something I want to do. And I hate that. Like, I never want, reading is my favorite thing, and I never want it to feel like a chore. But that's how we're feeling this month. I'm calling this Slumpy September. September is for slumps. The September slump. Slumptember. See what I did there? All right, I'm going to keep going. And welcome to 1 in the morning where I am spiraling. It's 1 a.m. We are on hour 18. And I just finished another book, so that's exciting. And by just, I mean like 2 hours ago, but I took a break and I paused the timer and I started editing this video because I wanted to get it up tomorrow. So now I'm in that weird, like, do I read or do I edit situation? I finished the 4th book of this readathon. It was really good. It was really, really good. Yet again, I loved it. And yet again, I don't want to read anymore. Reading Slump 1, Charlie 0. Anyway, Rouge. Rouge was awesome. I think I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. It was damn near perfect. It got a little lost in the end. It got a little silly and then like tried to wrap everything up in too neat a bow, which felt unnecessary. Similarly to Bunny, I feel like the more I read it, the more I'll get out of it. So I definitely want to read it for a second time for sure at some point. It was really fun. And I pretty much read it in one sitting. Like, I didn't take a break or pause the timer, which hasn't happened yet in this 18 hours that we've done so far. 18 hours. 1 a.m. math. Let's go. 24 minus 18 is 6. We have 6 hours left, which is like one book, right? And I don't know what to pick. I'm thinking that I'm going to do Things We Left Behind because I have it on Kindle, so I can get in bed and I can read it on my Kindle. That is not going to be super easy because I tend to just fall asleep after a chapter. I've been saying I was going to pick that up since the beginning of this video. I literally just edited the first clip where I was like, I think I'm going to start with this. And 4 books later, I haven't even touched it. So I think I'm going to end with that. That's what I'm thinking. I'll take it to bed. I'll try to do as much as I can tonight. Maybe I'll do like 2 hours tonight and 4 hours in the morning. Is that doable? I don't know why I'm asking you. You're not here. I wish you were. Is that creepy? Okay, I'm gonna go because I'm not making any sense. We're gonna turn the camera off and go read some more. 6 hours to go. It's almost over. This video is almost over, and maybe my reading slump will be too. Who's to say? Who is to say? It's over. Finally, the 24 hours is over. We are done. We have completed it. I actually let the timer run a little longer because I wanted to get through this bad boy. It took me an extra hour, so technically I read for 25 hours. However, I told you I took an hour-long nap without pausing the timer, so kind of comes out in the wash. You know what I mean? I loved this. I have seen... That's about how this video is going. I'm just hitting myself in the face with books right now. Cool. I've lost it. I've officially lost it. I have seen some mixed reviews of this. I think a lot of people were so excited for this. I think everybody was so excited for this. And I think that sort of skewed a lot of people's perceptions. I think they went into it with very high expectations, and because of that, they were slightly let down by certain plot points. That being said, for me, this was a 5-star. It was absolutely my favorite couple. I absolutely loved getting to see the flashbacks to like 23 years ago and understand where these people are coming from and how they ended up where they are. Because for 2 600-page books, we were told over and over and over again that they hated each other, they despised each other, they couldn't be around each other, they were arch enemies, they have this history that nobody will talk about. It was so nice to finally be in on what was going on and to figure out where it all went wrong and then to watch them come back from it. I am not typically one who loves second chance romances. I don't dislike them, but they're not like my favorite thing of all time. But this did it so well in my opinion, and I ate it up. I ate it up. It was a 5-star, which means I had 3 5-stars in this vlog. For a slump, for Slumptember, that's not bad. I also had a 4.5, almost 5-star, and a 3.5, almost 4-star. If I hit myself in the face with books one more time, I am changing my name and moving to Alaska. So overall, I loved everything I read. And I literally doubled my number of books read this month in 24 hours, over 3 days, but in 24 hours. So that's not bad. As far as the reading slump goes, what have we learned? We learned that sometimes you can't force it. Even if the perfect book falls into your lap, you're still not going to want to read. And you can't beat a reading slump with a 24-hour vlog because it will just turn into a 24-hour nightmare. What else have we learned? I can be incredibly whiny and overdramatic, and for that I apologize that you had to watch that. I have been editing this a little bit this morning, and I'm not gonna lie to you, yikes, I sound like a whiny little bitch, and I am so sorry. But that's the content we've signed up for, isn't it? So I will leave you with one final thought, and that is that I need to go edit this video. However, ironically, all I want to do right now is go sit and read. Is my bipolar Gemini showing? Sorry about it. So did the slump win or did I win? I'll let you decide. You can be the judge. So let me know what you do to get out of a reading slump. I love hearing tips and tricks. I'm always open to more. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're not experiencing Slumptember, but if you are, let me know, because it's nice to feel not alone. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in another video at some point, hopefully soon. Bye.